Hey everyone, welcome back to another Music Monday. This week I'm going to talk about the Canadian progressive rock band Rush, so stay tuned! So before I start this video, if you haven't already, I would recommend to subscribe to my channel so you can get updates for these new Music Monday videos, and there will be future video series in the future, but I would recommend subscribing now so you can see all these videos. Where do I start with a band that's been around for 40 plus years? I guess I could start by saying that Rush is probably the biggest influence on my guitar playing. Alex Lifeson, who's the main guitar player for Rush, his guitar style has been the biggest influence on me out of any guitar players. Whether it was Metallica, Guns N' Roses, those guys don't even compare to Rush. If you listen to my style, you can hear tons and tons of Alex Lifeson's style in it. Because when I was taking guitar lessons with Terry, we learned Rush about 75% of the time. Because when I was starting guitar lessons, that's when I found Rush, and yeah, we learned almost every song from their first, 5 or 6 albums. And I'm not even kidding. Every song. I didn't skip one track. But I actually used to hate Rush when I first heard them. I couldn't stand Geddy Lee's vocals, the high-pitched vocals. I used to hate that. I actually didn't start liking it until I listened to the band for a while. The main reason I got into the band was because of the song The Trees. I hadn't really heard music that time that used percussion instruments like that, like woodblocks and triangle cowbells, 100 toms. I hadn't heard music like that. But Neil Peart, who's the drummer, he had all that stuff, and that interested me so much because I'd been looking for music like that. Back in 8th grade and beforehand, I used to only listen to exclusively metal and rock music. If it was soft or anything, I would skip the track because I was not open-minded with my music selection. But over the years, I actually listen to more soft music than heavy music now, over the years actually. But yeah, I heard The Trees, so I was like, oh, okay, I gotta check these guys out, even if I don't really care for the vocals. So the first album I bought was Hemispheres, which, yeah, that is some weird album artwork at the time, and I couldn't believe they sold it at Walmart because of the imagery and the long songs. The first song on the CD is 18 minutes long, and I had never heard a song that long at the time. That was crazy. The longest song I heard up to that was there's a song by Metallica that's 10 minutes or something, but yeah, I listened to that whole CD, which there's only 4 songs, and most of them are long because The Trees is on there, Hemispheres, and La Villa Strangiato, which is one of my favorite instrumentals of all time. It's better than YYZ by Rush. If people are telling you YYZ is better, they're wrong. La Villa is way better. It's more complex, it's more emotional. It's their first instrumental, and they did it right. And that was one song that I had such a hard time learning when I was learning guitar. A cool story about Rush, well, it's not actually that cool, it's actually really depressing, but it's cool that he made it through this. Neil Peart, when early 2000s, late 90s, around that era, both his wife and daughter died around the same time period. And I thought that's really sad, that they died that close together. So he actually left the band for a year and drove his motorcycle across the whole country. I think he even went to down in Mexico and stuff. But then he decided he wanted to come back to the band after that, which that's pretty inspirational that he could even play music after that experience, because that's really depressing. But if I had to choose one song to listen to by Rush, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to choose 2 songs because they have such variety. Because Rush is actually one of those bands where early in their career sounds way different than the middle of their career, but then the end of their career sounds more like the beginning. And I'll explain that. The beginning's their rock and progressive music, really progressive at the time, which no one was really doing it the same way they were, so they were really innovative with how they were doing music. But then during the 80s, they kind of, I wouldn't say they sold out, but they kind of went with the trend of playing electronic music. But Alex Lifeson, the guitar player, he just kept on complaining, saying, why are we playing this crap, I want some guitar. So yeah, they quit playing that, and they kind of merged their 2 styles of electronic and progressive rock music together for the rest of their career. Sadly, I did not get to see them tour because they're retired now. Maybe they'll do a one-off show or something and I'll be able to see it, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. But okay, the two songs. Number one is Xanadu, and this is off the CD A Farewell to Kings, and this is like their most ambitious work probably. There is 12-string guitars. Getty and Alex are using 12-string guitars, and double neck guitars at that. So that is crazy. I checked that song out. It's like 9 minutes long or 11 minutes long or whatever, but the song does not feel that long when you're listening to it. So I recommend people who don't like the longer songs to check the whole thing out. It's actually a really cool song with great instrumental music. A second song I'd pick is actually a song off of Permanent Waves. It's the last song. It's called Natural Science, which I would think this is a good song to show you like every style that Rush has. It has the reggae influence that they were going through at that time, the electronic, the rock. It has everything they've ever done like all into one song. So that song is very recommended for me to go check out. But yeah, go check out all their albums. They have a lot of them, so it'll take you a while to get them. I would recommend starting with their older stuff and working up. You could probably skip the first 3 albums or so. Like they're good, but like not for. I don't think a casual listener would want to listen to them. So I don't know. Start anywhere you want, but I recommend listening to Rush, and I recommend you trying to find the guitar influences in my playing, in my guitar playing. So yeah, go check them out and listen to music this week. Thanks. Bye.